Hey there folks, and good morning, and welcome back for another shaving video. And today we're going to have our last use with the above the tie bamboo SE1 prototype. I'm going to send this back to Stan tomorrow, and we're going to use RazoRock Z Pepino. Go a little old school. This is an old scent. It's a great one. It's sort of a floral tobacco. Nice scent strength on this, about 6.5 or so. There's a look at the soap. I've preloaded just to save a little bit of the time, or a little bit of time, I should say. And let's go ahead and wet the face and get going. Stay tuned. Using the RazoRock Plissoft brush. I'm going to use the RazoRock soap and aftershave. May as well use the brush as well. And see, Pepino is a soap I haven't used for a long time. It's got a nice scent. It's not super floral, but it is floral tobacco, not the, pipe tobacco type scent. Nice scent in my estimation. Been a long time since I've used this soap. Smells great. Feels very nice on the face. And again, we've been using the above the tie bamboo SE1 for a week straight every single day, and in my estimation it is ready to go. I'm using a prototype. I gotta tell you, it has worked beautifully, absolutely beautifully for me, and it is still available for pre-sale at abovethetie.com if you're interested. Uses the Artist Club style blades, and we will give it its final voyage. That is, at least until I get the one I've purchased today. Get this sent back to Stan. Feeling very nice. I'm not the least bit disappointed in any way with this razor. The aggressiveness is just right for me. I'd call it efficient, not overly aggressive. I was talking to Stan yesterday, and we were trying to sort of figure out where we'd put the aggressiveness, and I think this is close to sort of the R1, but it's difficult to really give it a rating and aggressiveness because it just feels different. But I would say it's somewhere close to the R1, and I would say it's tough on beards, not tough on your face, which is a great thing. It's efficient, but not overly aggressive. And that's a very good thing. You want it to be tough on a beard, but not tough on your face. And that's where it falls for me. It's right where I like it in terms of its aggressiveness. So I would call it efficient, but not overly aggressive. On the other hand, it is not on the extreme end of mild. So somewhere close to medium would be where I would call it a true medium, whereas originally I thought the Colonial Razor General was close to medium. It is definitely mild, and this one is really probably a better representation of medium. Both great razors, by the way. I really like both. First pass was excellent. Let's rinse the face and come back with pass 2. It was nice to catch up with Stan today and just give him the rest of my thoughts on the razor, and very, very nice guy. Just a good old-fashioned country gentleman, I like to think, and very nice guy. You can buy from Above the Tie with confidence, I can tell you that. Particularly since he has that guarantee. No one else does that with razors that I am aware of. So sort of what sets Above the Tie apart from, not only its quality, and I know some people have opined on the 303 stainless steel issue, but in talking to Stan, when he was looking to manufacture razors, he consulted experts in the field, and 303 is what was recommended. They use it in a number of applications, which I ran down the other day, to include aircraft parts, gears. So this is a tough stainless steel. He initially wanted to go with 316, but I can't think of the name of the the guy, but the expert on metals who had over 40 years of experience said, no, for what you want to do, 303 is where you want to go, and it'll be just fine in terms of its properties of resistances and all the rest. And it's highly machinable. So we're going to be able to really machine the razor well without, wearing out all the tools, and it will be relatively affordable, whereas 316 really raises the price and is much more difficult to machine. So if you have worries about the steel, I could just say this. I've been using above the tie razors for over 3 years, and I've never had an issue with any durability, rust, you name it. So to me, it's a non-issue. Now, that said, I take the blade out of my razor every day and rinse it off and let it dry. And I would recommend that everyone do that. Why? Because as I'm shaving right now, even though I'm rinsing the razor, soap and some lather is going to get in between that blade underneath that top cap. And it's impossible to entirely rinse that out unless you're disassembling the razor. You're not going to get it all. And perhaps when if I remember, maybe when I take this apart, I'll show you that there'll still be soap residue and whatnot on the blade. So to rinse it off properly, you can't properly rinse it with it assembled. So if you're going to take it apart, and you should, why not just leave it apart for the day to dry? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever to leave a blade in a razor. None at all. Especially a $185 razor. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. By the way, the soap is performing quite well as the razor, or just like the razor is. Brush feels nice. I've spoke about this brush before. Great value. Good stuff. Really happy with how it's performing this morning on a Friday. Glad it's Friday. Cut the grass yesterday because it's supposed to rain again this weekend. It's been raining crazy. Like the sun will come out and then it rains, and sometimes it rains when the sun's out. It's raining like every day, seemingly for the past couple of weeks. So managed to sneak in the grass cutting after I got off work yesterday. So at least I've got that done. Because with the way it's raining, it's really growing quickly, as is the bamboo. So, anyway. Alright. The Z-Pep is doing well, and once again, I would say for those who, say RazoRock is not a good quality soap, it has been doing wonderfully for me. I've never had an issue with the quality of it. Is it the best quality soap in the world? No, of course not. But it's nowhere near that costly, and it performs very well, more than adequate. It's a good performer, I think. As you can see here, the razor glides just fine. No problems at all. Anyway, back to my previous comments about leaving the blade in the razor. If you do that, particularly for an extended period of time, you're leaving water and a blade in that razor, you could have the possibility of a transfer of rust from the blade to the razor with any razor and a stain. So I don't recommend you do that with any razor. It's not a particularly good idea to do so. You're asking for trouble. Take the blade out when you're rinsing it, and keeping things clean. Take a little care with your gear, and the gear will last you a lifetime if you treat it with some respect. Believe me. And above the tie is no exception to that. All right. Very nice shave here. So, let me go ahead and... I've rinsed this under the faucet already, and I'll show you before I get to the post here. under the cap there, you still got water, and the blade fell out, so you can't see it entirely, and you're still going to have a little lather residue, which it's kind of difficult to see, but there's a little bit of lather residue on the blade and underneath here. The only way you can get that out is to rinse it off. And if you're going to rinse it off, why not leave it open to dry? It makes no sense not to do that. I don't get it, folks. I'll be honest. All right, stay tuned for the post. Just as an example, you don't normally leave lather in your brush, do you? You rinse it out, set it aside to dry, don't you? Sure. Same thing with your razor. Do the same. Don't leave lather and water in anything, whether it's your brush, your razor, none of it. And if you do that, none of these issues are going to be a problem for you. Your razor is going to be in fine condition, whether it's a very inexpensive razor or an expensive razor. But certainly, if you pay good money, you don't leave a cheap, 10-cent razor blade in a $185 razor when it's wet for a number of days. That can lead to trouble. Now, I have left blades in razors before. I don't do it currently, but I've done it before and I never had any issue with it. So, I don't know. It's just not an issue for me. All right, on to the aftershave, and we're going to use RazoRock Z Pepino aftershave splash here. Again, I really like the RazoRock aftershaves. They represent a very nice value, in my opinion. Well priced. Tend to stick around a good while for your money, which I like, because again, I don't double up with colognes. Oh yeah. Smells very nice. Very nice. Let's go for another round. Why not? It's Friday after all. A little bit more there. All right. Yeah. Smells good. Feels good. It's Friday. What could we possibly complain about? Nothing. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Stan for letting me try the Above the Tie Bamboo SE1 prototype. Again, available at AboveTheTie.com. And also thanks to RazoRock for making these wonderful soaps and aftershaves. But most importantly, thank you guys for sticking with me, and watching. You guys have a great Friday. Remember, as always, keep them up, keep them open, and follow the money to get to the truth.